During this presentation, I'll be addressing some key issues of the second wave of feminism, including equal pay, reproductive rights, and the fight against beauty norms. I will also briefly go over the first wave that set the path for the second wave, and the third wave that built off the successes of the second wave. During World War I, American women saw that women in Germany had the right to vote, but that they did not. They felt that they were being denied full citizenship without the right to vote. There were several stereotypes about women that made men fearful about women earning this right. They were afraid that illiterate women would skew the vote, and there was a general idea that women should be at home cooking, cleaning, having children, and most importantly, staying out of the public eye in politics. Women were thought of as fragile, and so the women of the first wave fought hard against all of these stereotypes and showed that women are indeed smart, strong, and equal. The second wave of feminism was in its prime during the 1960s and 1970s. After the women of the first wave secured the right to vote, women were ready for even more equal rights. The workplace housed many inequalities in both job opportunities and wages. The jobs women had high beauty standards that men were not subjected to. For example, flight attendants had to be under 30, white, and maintain their weight and appearance. And women that were working the same or similar jobs as men were often paid less. The Equal Pay Act was passed in 1963. It prevented pay discrimination in the workplace based on race, age, religion, and sex. This guaranteed women working the same or similar jobs equal payment. After it was passed, more than $17 million was owed to 50,000 employees who were mostly women. Second wave feminists fought in many court cases and won higher wage back payment for lost wages after the Equal Pay Act of 1963 was passed. After the Civil War, abortions were only allowed when the pregnant woman's life was in danger. There was a list of medical conditions that qualified, but the list continued to shrink because of the advances being made in medicine. Hospitals were worried about their reputations and formed large committees requiring everyone's approval to perform an abortion. If the abortion was approved, the patient was usually forced to agree to being sterilized as a condition for receiving the abortion. About 69% of the women that received abortions in the 1940s and 1950s were sterilized. As a result, many women sought unsafe, illegal abortions. In 1973, abortions were legalized because of the court case Roe v. Wade. It was determined that the right to privacy was grounds for women to decide to have an abortion. The case made it possible for women who wouldn't have previously qualified for an abortion to a safe procedure. During the second wave, the Miss American pageant was one of the most viewed programs in the nation. The pageant portrayed the ideal American woman as white, skinny, symmetrical, with the talent of singing or baton twirling. The contestants were required to be wholesome in their personal lives, but also be a sex symbol during the swimsuit portion of the competition. Fed up with unrealistic beauty standards, 2 demonstrations took place during the 1968 Miss America pageant. One demonstration focused on women's liberation, and the other on the lack of diversity in the pageant. This demonstration is where feminists earned the infamous name bra burners. No bras were burned, but the bras were thrown in trash cans along with girdles, washcloths, and other feminine products. A Miss Black America pageant was also started to show that beauty was more than white women. An African American did not participate in the original pageant until 1970. When the third wave took over, women had several privileges due to the successes of the first and second waves. There was progress for equal pay because of the Equal Pay Act, but on average, men are still making more than women. Women make up 47% of the workforce, but only 6% of CEOs and higher corporate jobs are held by women. The inability to move up in the workforce is known as the glass ceiling. This has become a key focus for the third wave. The third wave is also celebrating the differences between men and women and fighting against objectifying women and violence against women. Whatever being a woman means to the individual is what the third wave is willing to fight for. The women of the second wave paved the way for modern-day feminists. They fought for control of their bodies, they normalized women working, and embraced the differences between every woman. The work that women of the second wave did significantly improved the lives of women today.